Well, hey there, all you rockaholics. Welcome into another edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio and Rock is Not Dead Australia. My name is Bob Bannister. Now, before we get going, I'd like to ask you to take a moment and please click that like, share, and subscribe buttons, and also drop us a comment. Maybe there's somebody you'd like us to catch up with. We'll try our best to do that for you. So this time around on Rock Talk, we are catching up with somebody whom we spoke with about a year ago, just before the band Sister's Doll hopped on the boat and sailed the seas on the Monsters of Rock cruise. And so we're catching up with Brennan Mileto from the band, the lead singer and rhythm guitarist from the band. And it's always special catching up with people after you've talked to them once before. And we're catching up and seeing what's been going on in the world of Sister's Doll and how things have changed since then. Their album Scars was out last year, and it's just an absolutely amazing album. If you haven't heard the album yet, why? Go and find it, go and listen to it. I think your ear holes will really appreciate that. So let's step inside the Rock Talk studio, catch up with the one and only Brennan Mileto from the band Sister's Doll on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio and Rock is Not Dead Australia. Hey, look at that, rockaholics. Here we go. It's another edition of Rock Talk. Joining us this time around from the band Sister's Doll from Melbourne, Australia, we've got the one, the only, Brennan Mileto. How you doing, my friend? Long time no see.
I know. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for having us on. It's great. I think last time we spoke, it was all four of us, but yeah, good solo session now, which is good.
Yeah, and at the time, you guys had just added Sage into the band, and everything was just starting to kick off. And how did that go? How did that dynamic go? Having the fourth brother out on the road with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. Like we've said in previous interviews, we've sort of said the same thing. It's like it sort of rejuvenated us a bit, I guess. Like me, Bryce, and Austin have been doing it for so long. I think people forget how long we've been doing Sister's Doll. And obviously we started quite young, and, we've still continued on to sort of like keep the dream alive. And obviously getting Sage in the last year and a half now, it sort of feels like a different band. It feels like a different engine. It sort of feels complete. So it kind of is weird now, like when we see like, footage of us when we're just a three-piece, it kind of like feels odd now. So yeah, having him honestly completed the puzzle, but it's given us a whole new lease of life. So it does feel like a new band, even though the band has been around for a while now.
Now, how's he adjusted to jumping into the band? Like, because you guys were already established, and then you pulled him in. How has he adjusted to that?
Oh, he's done so good. Like, I probably don't give him enough praise, and if he watches this back, you probably see. But I'm super proud of him because it wasn't easy for him to like sort of jump in straight up. Like, he obviously music was in his blood because he grew up with us and he knew what we were, obviously. But it didn't come as easy to him as it did us, I guess. Maybe because he wasn't a part of it and he just assumed one day he might join. Right. So we really put a hard word on him, and yeah, he's just come on in leaps and bounds. And like even now, like he's just like learning things so much quicker, and and he knows how passionate, because even though he hasn't been in the band, he's still been there throughout the whole journey. So he's every up and down we've gone through, he's gone through as a part of the family. So he knows how important the band is to us. So yeah, now that he's a member, he feels a part of it. So his voice is a bit more heard. And, I'm just proud of how much he's sort of learnt in a short period of time because it's not only just learning the instrument, and that you still got to get up on stage and, have the confidence. Yeah, he's really fitted in, and no one has really said, oh, Sage looks out of place or anything like that. Everyone's like, wow, this is awesome. Like, so it's definitely been a lot more positive feedback and hardly any negative, which is great. So it's a big tick to him because he's worked hard, Sage. Yeah.
That's very cool. Now let's rewind things a little bit here. When you guys started Sisters Doll, when did it start to get that feel of this is really something. This has got some traction. We're a real band here.
Yeah, I honestly, it's probably been the last probably 2 years we've seen like a lot more growth in fan engagement, and obviously I think releasing Scars has really helped. Like that's definitely been our best work to date. And not saying that the previous stuff wasn't. It was just I think we were because we started quite young, we were always known as like this young band coming through the ranks, and we had some great opportunities, and then you go back down and then you have another great opportunity. So over our journey there's been a lot of high points, definitely a lot of low points, but in terms of like people coming to the shows and buying tickets and buying merch and stuff, it kind of feels like, yeah, this last couple of years we felt there has been a bit of a shift, and it feels a little bit more like, oh, this is actually sort of feel like it was always kind of got like you'd have a taste of it and then you drop down, whereas now it's kind of got to a level and it's kind of staying sort of there now, which is good. And obviously there's still plenty more room to grow, and that's what we're sort of still trying to do, but at least now it feels a little bit more like, oh, people want to see us, people are constantly coming to the shows now, and there's a bit more of a buzz. And I think having Sage, like, not saying that he's been the secret ingredient, but it has been, yeah, it does feel like a different band and a different unit now, which is exciting.
And how do you feel that the people what do you think that the takeaway people have when they leave the show? How do you think they feel about your live show?
I think that's where we shine the most in terms of we are a live band. Like obviously you can put our CD on and it sounds fine, but a lot of people do come to us and go, wow, like it's a whole different experience live, which is a good tip, like good for us, like it shows that people enjoy it. And I think that's the reason it shows, I guess, is because that's what we really, all four of us, that's one thing we really love. Like the only reason we go and do shows and still tour and stuff, because as you know, the industry's, there's not a lot of money anymore, like, so it's very expensive to tour, but we do it because we love it. Like that's where we love being on stage. Being in the studio and creating new songs is obviously amazing as well, but yeah, we would if we got more passion in that, we would probably just record music and not tour. We just release music constantly. But the reason we add the touring to that side of it is because we genuinely, yeah, love being on stage. So to have people go, oh yeah, you're such a different machine when you're on stage is a good compliment. So yeah.
So then you would do the Beatles thing where they just pull back and just hit in the studio the whole time.
Yeah.
How different do you think the band would be then if you did that? Like if you guys just said, you know what, touring's now we're done with that. We're just going to record all the time. How different do you think that would be?
It would be different. Like I think we would feel like, I suppose it'd be just more for ourselves as opposed to like now when we tour and go out, like the music we record is obviously for ourselves and the fans, but we obviously, that's our way of getting our music out of our heads onto like paper. But the touring and going out and putting shows on, necessarily we're not playing all the probably songs that we would like to play, but like we're playing songs from like the first album, the second album, sort of for the crowd, I guess you could say. So it would be a different dynamic, and I think, yeah, we probably wouldn't even enjoy it as much, I guess, because like I said, getting on stage for us is like where we're like, oh, this is where we feel alive, like
That's
being
your
on
home.
tour and stuff. Yeah.
So how do you put together a set list? Like, because you guys have got a deep catalog now. So how do you guys decide, okay, we're going to do this song and this song and this song, and then you just ignore other songs? Or do you have a rotation that you have set up?
It's so hard. Like there's probably a few staples that would never really come out just because they are a good live like staple song, I guess. And sometimes the set list, you flow the set list so it flows nicely. But it is very hard. Like we did a show with Baby Animals recently, a great Australian band.
Yeah.
And we opened for them, and we had a 40-minute set, and we picked 8 songs, and then we ran the set when we were rehearsing, and it came to like 50 minutes, and we're like, oh, we've got to cut a song. Like we had it like in our heads, oh, this is the set, and then we're like, oh, what song do we cut? Do we cut this one or that one? It gets so hard. That's the worst thing about writing new music, because then it's like, oh, you got these new ones you got to chuck in, but which means other ones have got to like take a back seat. So Generally, when we do a headline show, it's a bit more easier. We can kind of like swap and change things out, like because we can play a little longer. But yeah, it's always hard when we got to drop the to the 40-minute sets or 30-minute sets. Like even some shows now, like some of the festival shows that we might get, they're 30 minutes. So it's like, well, what songs can we chuck in that is going to showcase us the best and give the biggest impact? So yeah, it is definitely tricky, but we always find a way. But I think that maybe this next show we're doing coming up in Musicland, we actually might chuck in some songs we haven't done with Sage before, just to sort of change it up a little bit. So yeah,
Keep him on his toes.
exactly. Yeah.
So is there that one cover tune that you guys have to just play in every show? Like that's a staple, just like your originals, but it's a cover.
Ooh, when we were early days, like when we first moved to Melbourne, we chucked in Love Gun by Kiss all the
Oh,
time.
nice.
Like we actually played that a lot, and I said to the boys, we used to do that a lot back in the day. And then, but recently we haven't chucked in a hell of a lot of covers. Like when we played on Rock the Boat, the first year we went on that, we were like, well, we got to chuck in some covers for this because obviously most of it was established bands and cover bands that were on there. And we're like, well, we got to
Yeah.
do our, but we want to sort of not lose the crowd either. So we chucked in like Australian covers. So there was a few that went off really well on there. Like we did Don't Change by In Excess, which was cool. And yeah, I think we kind of chuck them in depending on the show, I guess you could say. Like, so if we're doing one and we're like, well, we might chuck in a cover tonight because it's a different sort of crowd, we sort of think of the crowd and go, oh yeah, let's chuck in this one. But I'd say consistently over our tenure as a band, we Love Gun was probably one that we played a lot, thinking back.
Nice, nice. Now, how do you guys avoid burnout? Like, do you reach a point where it's just like, okay, guys, we've been together, we've been on the road, just got to go break, do our own thing.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part at the moment is juggling, like, because the band's not full time. It's always
Right.
like when we can. So we never get burnt out by the band. It's more our other job because I think like we love the band so much, and that's kind of like our outlet. Whereas when we just get home from like a 2-day run, like the last run we did 2 shows in Sydney, and like we get back Sunday morning, and then it's like, oh, all back to work Monday, like, and so you're like, oh, here now we're back to like down in the doldrums again, I guess. So yeah, we it's sort of hard to answer the question. If we were just full-time musicians, I'd probably be able to answer it a bit better. But at the moment, the music and touring is what kind of lifts us up, and we're like, oh, we're going out on the road again. It's exciting. But yeah, I think trying to get sleep is probably the main thing. We get a bit agitated, but because we are brothers, I suppose the good thing is we all know each other's like quirks and limits. So if one of us wakes up a little bit, especially like when we were on the UK last year, that was a bit more of we did 14 dates in like 18 days. So it was like pretty full on. And
Mhm.
yeah, you could see certain days like someone wasn't feeling it as much or I wasn't feeling it. And you kind of know how to work the room. So you don't piss that person off to make the turn into a bit of a nightmare.
So looking down the road, 5 years, 10 years down the road, what legacy do you want people to have of Sister Stall?
I think our live show is where we really pride ourselves on. So I think no one's ever come to a Sisters L show and said, oh, they like whether you like us or hate us, no one's ever come and said, oh, they're terrible or whatever. So I think we really pride ourselves on that. So I think that's where our legacy, as much as we love writing the music and we want the music to be, in people's mind, people probably more remember us for the live show we put out. But I think I've still got the hunger inside. Like, I still feel like I haven't written that massive hit yet. So that's probably what keeps me going. So hopefully we can do that in the next 5 to 10 years. And then that would be our legacy. We wrote this amazing #1, like worldwide successful song, which would be awesome.
Absolutely amazing. Now, before we wrap this up, now the last time that we chatted, I wrapped up with doing this or that. I've kind of changed things up a little bit. I have a little thing now called the wrong game. It's the game with no points, but the only rule is all of your questions have to be answered in the form of a wrong answer.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yep.
so I've got some questions here. This should be right up your alley. I love these questions here. So if you're ready, here we go.
All right.
What city is considered the birthplace of the Sunset Strip rock scene?
Oh, I'd have to say New York.
Which band recorded Girls, Girls, Girls?
Oh, I think that was Poison, wasn't it?
What's the name of the glam metal band that was fronted by Bret Michaels?
Oh, that was Van Halen, I think.
What band was John Bon Jovi's lead guitarist Richie Sambora known for playing a double neck guitar in?
I was made for loving you.
Sure. um, which hair metal band recorded We're Not Gonna Take It?
Oh, that was Kiss.
And finally, what's the name of the Kiss demon that was the fire-breathing, blood-spitting demon?
That was Sebastian Bach, wasn't it? I think.
There you go. Right on. Hey, thank you very much, Brennan Mileto from Sisters Doll, for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio and Rock Is Not Dead Australia. Take a minute and shamelessly self-promote the band, my friend.
Oh, thanks, Bob. I really appreciate it. And just a shout out to you too, because you're promoting Australian music all the way from Canada. So thanks so much. It doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you for your continued support for Australian music. And yeah, check us out on all the social media stuff. We're pretty active on there. Bryce likes to keep it pretty active and fresh. So yeah, sistersdollband.com has all the links. So yeah, check us out, and we hope to see you at a show really soon. And we're heading to the UK very soon. So hope to see some of you UK people at the shows. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Thank you again for joining us. Don't forget, guys, click that like, share, and subscribe button. Support Sisters Doll, support CGCM Rock Radio, and Rock Is Not Dead Australia. And we'll catch you again next time on another edition of Rock Talk.